Hello and welcome to Trinity Church in the city of Boston. My name is David McFerrin. I sing in the Trinity Church choir and am a member of the congregation. On behalf of our entire church community, I'd like to welcome you to this tour. It's my pleasure and privilege to introduce you to a building that's both our parish home and one of the true gems of 19th century American architecture. Trinity is a National Historic Landmark, a designation by the United States Park Service that marks its significance not only to Boston, but also to the entire nation. The American Institute of Architects has ranked Trinity Church among the top 10 buildings in the country. And PBS, the American Public Broadcasting System, included Trinity in its 2013 program called 10 Buildings That Changed America. In our time together today, we'll explore why this building is so significant in American art and architecture. With the building of this church, a new architectural style was created. It was an American style, a bold, New World re-expression of an early medieval form. The style came to be called Richardsonian Romanesque, named after the young, French-trained architect Henry Hobson Richardson. Richardson developed a robust new style that became widely popular for a generation. The style launched Richardson's career as America's foremost architect of the 19th century. The interior of Trinity Church was also groundbreaking. In a moment, you'll see its opulent, color-saturated decorative painting and figural mural work created by the artist John Lafarge. You'll also see the remarkable collection of stained glass windows from 9 of the finest American and European studios of the day, including several with revolutionary innovations that transformed the stained glass art form. Along the way, we will share some of Trinity's rich history, which now spans close to 3 centuries. When Trinity was founded in 1733, it was a parish in the Church of England. After the American Revolution, the Anglican churches in the United States formed what is now the Episcopal Church. Trinity's original site was in an older part of the city, where it prospered for many years. But by the middle of the 19th century, the parish had a dwindling membership because it was isolated in what had become a largely commercial part of Boston. A new life for Trinity began with the arrival of a young, charismatic rector, Phillips Brooks. His arrival in 1869 reinvigorated the parish, which grew quickly. The congregation needed a more suitable location, and in 1872, they purchased the prominent plot of land here in Copley Square, where you find Trinity today. The congregation's timing was excellent because the old church was destroyed in the Great Boston Fire that same year. A competition was held to select the architect to design the new church. H. Richardson and his bold new design won the day. Educated at Harvard, Richardson studied architecture in Paris at the École des Beaux-Arts, the Academy of Fine Art, and was among the very first Americans to be trained there. Here at Trinity, Richardson developed his signature style. It's a re-expression of an early medieval European form called the Romanesque. Characterized by round arches, the Romanesque style was freely adapted by Richardson to improve its visual appeal with the clear and rational use of brownstone trim and decorative motifs. The building is organized around the massive central tower and creates an overall effect of monumentality and permanence, but also a clear sense of newness and originality, a truly American style. Richardsonian Romanesque quickly became very popular for civic and commercial buildings, such as libraries, town halls, courthouses, and train stations. Visitors are often surprised by the amount of color and the density of detailed decorative painting they see around and above them. This intense visual excitement is balanced by the surrounding framework of warm, black walnut woodwork that creates an almost cozy ambiance. It's as if the room put its arm around you in welcome. This innovative decorative program and the feeling it gives were intentional. The interior decoration was conceived by the architect, Richardson, and the rector, Brooks, along with the artist who designed and directed its creation, John Lafarge. Lafarge was trained as a painter. He studied in France and later with the American artist William Morris Hunt. Richardson had known Lafarge in his work and felt confident that he would be the ideal choice for this crucial phase of the project. One of the key design requirements set forth by the church building committee was that the interior needed to be free of columns. Why do you suppose they insisted on that? Well, because Phillips Brooks's preaching was very important to his followers, any obstructed views had to be minimized. Richardson based his design on the shape of a Greek cross, a cross with 4 equal sides, which created an open, auditorium-like room with clear sight lines, good acoustics, and a sense of unity. You might be surprised to learn that Lafarge used only a limited number of colors to create these vibrant murals. It's hard to believe, but this young painter and his team of 6 other artists and a general painting contractor accomplished most of this decorative work in a little more than 4 months. Working through a cold Boston winter, in an unheated church, and with a very small budget, Lafarge and his team worked at a feverish pace to complete the work in time for the church consecration in February of 1877. Even though the whole decorative program was produced under intense time pressure, this amazing artistic accomplishment was received with wide acclaim. The decorative program at Trinity Church initiated a movement embracing large-scale public art in the United States. The chancel at Trinity has undergone a number of changes over the years. What you're seeing today is the result of a major redecoration completed in 1938. Look at some of the key elements of the decoration. These include the upper part of the curved wall, which is decorated with blue and red stenciling over gold leaf, the lower part of the curved wall, where you can see the carefully matched panels of green marble sheathing, the altar, with its raised, intricately carved white and gold marble and mosaics, the altar rail, decorated with pink marble, and the dramatic central feature, the carved, gilt wooden cross suspended from the ceiling. If you look at each end of the cross, you'll see the symbols of the Gospel writers: Mark, the lion; Luke, the ox; Matthew, the angel; and John, the eagle. There are 7 stained glass windows on the curved wall of the chancel. These windows were the first to be acquired by the church in 1877 to 1878. Designed and fabricated by the London firm of Clayton and Bell, these Gothic Revival windows illustrate 7 scenes from the life of Christ. On the left, you can see the nativity scene, and on the far right is Jesus' commission to the apostles. These finely crafted windows use jewel-tone colors, verticality, and lack of dimension to recreate the feel of medieval stained glass. Renowned for their variety, quality, and innovation, the windows form an important part of the decorative program of the church. They were acquired over a period of 50 years, beginning in 1877, and come from the leading stained glass studios of the time. They replaced temporary leaded glass windows, similar to what you see in the entrance doors. Most windows were memorial gifts to the church, and, in addition to texts from Scripture, you'll often see the name of the person to whom the window was dedicated. The donors had some say in both the design and the subjects depicted in the windows. This is one reason the stained glass at Trinity Church is so diverse, and not rigidly uniform, as is often seen in other churches of the time. In the upper level is the dramatic 1878 group of 3 large windows that tell the Easter story. From left to right, we see scenes of the resurrection in the first window, then the ascension of Jesus into heaven, and finally the day of Pentecost. Made by the Eugène Oudinot studio of Paris, these windows feature clear, direct images that depict realistic perspective. The windows make use of beautiful, bright colors, with an emphasis on white, gold, and blue. Opposite the Easter windows is another trio of windows. This group is associated with Christmas. These windows depict scenes surrounding the birth of Christ. On the left is the wonder of the shepherds. In the center, you can see the adoration of the Magi. And on the right is the flight into Egypt. These windows were designed by the British artist Edward Burne-Jones and fabricated by the William Morris Studio. William Morris was a leader in the arts and crafts movement in Britain. The windows evoke the medieval era, with rich shades of green in the vinework, clear flat images, and beautiful jewel-tone colors. Like Trinity's Christmas windows, this stained glass masterpiece was also created by the team of Edward Burne-Jones and William Morris and was installed in 1882. We see old King David instructing his son Solomon on the temple that Solomon must build. Notice the solemn, stylized faces of the figures in this window. Trinity's most important stained glass window. Consisting of 3 lancets, it's called Christ Preaching, and was the work of our decorator, John Lafarge. The window was installed in 1883 and is considered by many to be one of the finest examples of 19th century American stained glass. It's a tour de force of Lafarge's innovative techniques. The turquoise grounds of the outer lancets of Christ Preaching are a mosaic of white, blue, and green nuggets of glass. There are 2,700 glass pieces, and each one is faceted and about the shape and size of a golf ball. The effect is dazzling. The donors of this window remain anonymous, but Phillips Brooks reportedly asked Lafarge to give me something to inspire me when I preach. This was the artist's superb response. Another Lafarge window, the presentation of Mary at the temple. Lafarge recreates in glass a portion of the painting by Titian of the same name. Lafarge used the same techniques and vibrant color as he did in the creation of our Christ Preaching window above the center doors. The window depicting the presentation of Mary is a memorial to Julia Appleton McKim, who was the wife of Charles Follen McKim. McKim worked for Trinity's architect, Richardson, before starting his own firm, McKim, Mead, and White. These were the architects of the Boston Public Library across Copley Square. The windows in the lower level were made by Boston stained glass artist Margaret Redman and were the last windows installed in 1927. On the left side, you can see a depiction of the 4 gospel writers. On the right side are Jesus' 12 apostles. These windows are a wonderful example of the English arts and crafts aesthetic, with deep, rich colors and flat images. Redmond had her studio on Newbury Street, just a few blocks away from Trinity Church. A final word as we finish this tour. Trinity Church isn't a museum. It's a vibrant, active, and diverse parish with close to 1,000 people worshiping here each Sunday. As we have for almost 300 years, we remain deeply committed to serving Boston with a wide range of ministries. To do this work and to maintain this historic building, Trinity receives no direct funding from sources other than its own members. The art treasures that you've seen are still in the places that they were designed for, inspiring and uplifting those who view them. Our special thanks to visitors like you, who help us preserve and maintain this very special place. We appreciate you being with us today, and we hope you come back and visit Trinity Church again.